People, all of us are important. I feel like we all have the same kind of blood running through us, and it shouldn't matter about the color of our skin, how one is treated. But unfortunately, we are treated different, coming from different races, different cultures, different social groups. Yes, that's what inspires me. I love people. I have a lot of compassion for people, and I think people should be treated fairly, not with favoritisms. Treat people with respect like you want to be treated. So that's my drive for it more than anything. Diversity, looking at things in different ways. People come from different cultures and us learning from one another, expanding our knowledge. Equity is really important to me because being a person of color, I have experienced a lot of inequity in the workplace, in the community, in life, period. So that word is very big for me. Inclusiveness, all of us being together in one accord and belonging, belonging is when they just added, it's part of being a part of a positive and growing organization that's doing right by all of their people based on their knowledge, experience, and what they have to bring to the organization to help us grow as one. This is a really touchy subject for me because, I've experienced so much in things not being equitable. I experienced a lot of racism in the organizations, in all organizations. It's not just our organization. So it's important for me and that I see each person being accountable and making this a better place to work at. I am the BIPOC co-facilitator. I facilitate the Black Caucus groups. I attend all the flag raising because it's important for every nationality to be honored. In my own department, I try to make sure every culture is recognized and supported. I provide information. I rally staff around to send different knowledgeable things from others to learn about their culture. We decorate our floor up on the 5th floor, 5NJB, diversity. I am driving it on our floor. I walk it and I talk it throughout the organization. So I was on the bus this morning encouraging a young Black woman who works here how to better herself, how to make accomplishment, to how to show her value. And I think over the last 2 years, I have really learned how to speak my value, what I'm worth, and what I bring to the table. And I encourage other people to do the same thing. I have an open door policy here, and staff from different departments stop by and share things with me. I'm on a lot of committees just to help bring about change in this area. People are important, and we can't just keep bringing programs and them not making a difference. Each of us have to give and hold each other accountable with transparency. We can't change the past, but we sure can help the future, because I am proud to be an employee at Harborview Medical Center. The UW is a big system. At Harborview, one thing I can say is I work with a great people as co-facilitators. Dr. Goss, awesome. I work with Martine, Robert Lewis, Victor Morris, Lynn Flowers, Elena. These people, the collaboration we have as a team is amazing. We're looking at ways to do a panel like Dr. Goss, he's a white man and I'm a Black woman, where we become partners and we're able to break down the stereotypes, making him feel comfortable and asking any questions that he wants. And I'll take it up to our administrator, Summer. She's involved with us. And she wants to make a difference. She wants to leave her position knowing that she helped contributed to making a difference at Harborview. So I'm holding them accountable, by being transparent. And, sometimes it's uncomfortable. I'm taking a step out. But if people want to make a change, you got to do more than do the talk. You got to do the walk. I believe in being honest with them and holding them accountable. We can bring all kind of programs in here, but you got to start from the top and work your way down, because the top sets the example from the bottom line, for the front line, I should say, not the bottom line, the front line. So that's where my goal is, to get to those people up there so they can take actions and filter it down, holding all leaders responsible in this area to be accountable, especially in the equity piece, showing no favoritism. Hiring, that's a big thing here, is not who but hiring with what people bring to the table. And we do have a repetition for people getting jobs and they're not qualified, and people who are qualified not getting jobs. And, that's a touchy subject, but it's something that needs to be acknowledged, and they need to make some changes in that area. Another challenging thing in the U is that they have the titles, people doing certain work and not listed under the correct titles. I'll give you an example. I've been here 9 years, and we have PSS, we have program coordinators, and I'll talk about that group particular. The PSSs, they were front desk staff, they were processing referrals, and the equity among them, some people made their PSS who were processing referrals PC. Is not consistent through the system. Even in my title, a business operations supervisor, some were PCC supervisors who unionized, and I'm not. Then you got the manager and the BOS positions, and what people are actually doing under those titles that aren't equitable. And the U needs to put more energy to bring fairness in that area. Another area I'm going to talk about is the salaries, compensations that people at Harborview is paid versus Northwest. There's an inequity there. So when you're talking about what you're doing, let's talk about what you can do to make this a better work environment at Harborview. Harborview stands out. We're unique. We're a trauma center, and I don't want to say that we're special, but we do things that other people can't do. And the interesting piece is my providers work here and at the U, especially in my neurosurgery department. I'm referring to them more than anybody else because they have offices at both places. They will count on the Harborview staff and want them to do some of their work over at the U because they know the experience, how knowledgeable the skill set of the staff at Harborview is. And, to know that you're making less money than someone who might work at UW Medicine or Northwest, that's not a good feeling for staff. Like I was telling you about PSS and PCs doing the same work. Now, my departments are neurosurgery, spine, stroke, and sports medicine. I had 2 people who was considered PCs. Managers got them in that position to make more money, and it was occurring in other departments. I had like 13 other staff who was considered PSS. The cap in that salary was different. I had to fight to get them changed over, and it was working with compensation to do it. And it was like, I'm writing the job description. Other managers are using it to hire people. There is something wrong here with this picture. I finally accomplished it with the leadership behind me, cheering me on, but somebody else should have really done that. And it's across the system this is going on. So they really need to take a look at it. Yeah, sure, people are usually not always complaining they want to make money. But when you have other examples and other entities doing the same job and less work than you, that's not equitable in my eyes. Our providers here at Harborview, they have a lot of faith in the staff and they depend on, we make things happen. We get patients who come from all over the country, the United States, and coordinating their visits Our PCCs work really hard in making sure we can line their appointments up in one day instead of spreading them out. And then you look at other organizations who don't even do that, but yet they're getting paid more money. That's not equitable. And that's why I do what I do in DEI. And I will continue to fight as long as I'm here for the right thing. I will continue to encourage other people of color. Look at your value, speak your truth. But you know what? Some of them are threatened by their management of what's going to happen. I had a guy in here from a department. He had tears coming out of his eyes about the way the minorities were treated in his department, and it's not fair. First of all, our front desks are the frontline people. They see the patients first. Now, the PCs, and I'll say PSSs too, because there's a cross in the titles, they have the first contact with the patient. If it wasn't for those staff members, they would never make it into the surgery, which we know neurosurgery and spine, they bring in a lot of money. You know, it starts in the ambulatory department to keep the hospitals and stuff moving. All our jobs are important, even from the custodians, environmental services. If they didn't keep our floors and carpets clean, what would it look like for people to come in here and be served? And then you have some people who come in here and talk to them like they're lower class. I was so glad that when they changed the patient's responsibility and rights, which means patients have to treat staff with more respect, whereas the saying used to be always the customer is right. Well, we have people who come in here and talk to our people of different cultures, African and different cultures who can't speak English quite well, and they don't want to deal with them. But Harborview, we service our mission. We serve everyone. I don't care if you're the homeless, and homeless is not always considered the lower class. People are in homeless situations for different reasons. Some is by choice, but some is like, we had somebody here at Harborview, and it was interesting because I think it was in one of the caucus, they found out she and her kids were sleeping in a car because their salary was not enough to pay the rent in Seattle, our Seattle area. So what does that tell you? You need to start looking at our composition. Look at what the other hospitals are compensating people. We got to look at the economy. We have to. You get good people here. We want to keep good people in our organization to serve our people. Harborview, we have a lot of pride here, a lot of pride, and we don't get the respect that we deserve. Everyone deserves to be respected, but it doesn't happen that way all the time. I encourage people, even when I do my onboarding and hiring, to join the caucus groups. For the Black Caucus, it's a lot of sharing and people relating to what we're experiencing in the workplace. That's the first step. And then once you're in these groups, I challenge the leaders of the other groups is, how can we put each other together to work on how we can grow each other? And it's about building relationships. So you have to put yourself in one of these caucuses or something to get involved. And then that's where my belief really started getting stronger. And I noticed me speaking my truth more than I ever have now and being really comfortable in my skin because I have a support system here at Harborview. That's $1 million question. I have a lot of hope. Matter of fact, I just reached out and made an appointment with the CEO, Summer. I have a lot of respect for her. One of her things is she wants this to be her legacy. So I'm going to meet with her and, talk about what I think more things need to happen. We're already working on a committee based on something that happened years ago, but I want to see the change. I don't want to see the talk. I want to see administration saying, hey, we do have this problem about inequity in pay, about UW staff making more, or Harborview staff making more than the UW medicine, more than Northwest. That's where I'm pushing because that's where I have already done that with staff, where I got them classified differently. But this is work upper management should be doing more than knowing about it and saying, yeah, we know salaries is a problem, positions, we're working on it. Well, we can't see it. People need to see things. Don't make promises and bring in programs and not take action on them. So as long as I'm at Harborview, I will continue to try to make some things happen where I can leave this organization and feel like I actually made a difference.